this is Sandy Jayaraj from The Sustainable Investor. And a story that caught our eye this week focused on appliances almost everyone has in their home, fridges and freezers. Have you ever reached for a piece of fruit only to find it has gone moldy? Well, cooling food is one way to slow down spoiling. And fridges and freezers do a great job of making food last longer. But there are some sustainability issues to think about, but there are also some interesting solutions. Before I talk about that, here's some context. There are a number of key mechanisms for spoiling food or making it unfit for us to eat. The two main culprits are enzymes and microscopic organisms. Enzymes, which are large protein molecules naturally present in foods, help to accelerate decay in foods by effectively breaking the cells down, but they can also accelerate oxidation of foods, causing them to form a brown colour. Microscopic organisms, such as bacteria and fungi, consume nutrients in the food to grow and multiply themselves. That furry growth on the surface is one example, and sometimes these microbes can cause disease too. But at fridge temperatures of 3 to 5 degrees C, enzymes and microbe activity slows down dramatically. Let's look at how a fridge or freezer works. Modern fridges and freezers work on what's called a vapor compression cycle. The principle is that when a fluid changes from a gaseous form to a liquid form, heat gets released. And when a liquid evaporates to become gaseous again, heat gets soaked up. In the closed system that is the fridge, you're moving heat from inside the fridge to outside, so a fridge is really like a heat pump. But there are some sustainability issues. The fluids or refrigerants that have historically been used, HFCs and HCFCs, are very potent greenhouse gases. They can get released during manufacturing, especially when the appliances are improperly disposed of. And secondly, fridges and freezers are always on, and so are one of the most expensive domestic appliances to operate. But there are solutions. Alternatives to HFCs and HCFCs already exist, with much lower global warming potential. And energy efficient fridges and freezers can consume less energy and be cheaper to operate. There are also encouraging early stage alternatives that are not yet commercially viable but showing good promise. Now, we saw earlier that in modern fridges and freezers, the refrigerant changes from gas to liquid by being compressed by a pump. But what if we could change that state another way, using less electricity? Well, you will have seen salt being spread on roads during winter to help melt the ice. Ionocaloric refrigeration works on the same principle. Using electricity, ions are added to a material, causing it to melt and re-solidify when removed. When the material melts, it soaks up heat. When it solidifies, it releases heat. The energy used is far lower, and the material has low global warming potential too. Finally, an alternative to freezing that uses much less energy, has lower emissions, and also protects the food from ice crystallization. With isochloric freezing, foods are stored in a sealed, rigid container, completely filled with the fluid before freezing. The food is preserved without turning it into solid ice. You can read more about it at thesustainableinvestor.org.uk.